one of the most profound, potentially life-transforming experiences I've had in relationship is the moment when I have been able to refrain from reacting emotionally to whoever, coworkers, friends, my brother, my parents. I think most significantly, my wife. And for example, today, there was a moment between us where she was having a more difficult time with something. I have my moments, my days, absolutely, but today she had a very emotionally difficult moment, and in that moment was, you could say, kind of attacking me in a sense. I was the object of her kind of aggression. I noticed that she seemed overtaken, overwhelmed, consumed, and I kind of had a sense of myself. I was aware of my feelings. I noticed that I was beginning to feel reactive emotionally to her reactivity. I felt that in my body, in my chest. I felt a certain sensation that I associate with rage arising within me, and I was able to notice it before it got to a point of no return where I needed to express it and basically lash out in reaction to her experience. And so as I remained composed, I stayed with my breath. I recognized how I wanted to speak in a certain way, a certain reactive, aggressive way toward her. I refrained from that. I watched my words. I listened to my words. I listened to what I was saying and how I was saying it. And I chose to remain composed, not in a manipulative way, because that can happen as well between people, where one person pretends to be fine and tries to leverage the emotional reactivity of the other person, trying to make them feel crazy and weird, and it just makes their reactivity even more confusing and difficult. So it wasn't that, it was staying in my experience, recognizing that she was having a hard experience, listening to her words, listening to her body language, listening to her tone, listening to what she needed, listening to what she was saying that she wanted and needed, and doing my best to respond appropriately with composure. It wasn't a moment to argue or get over on her or to prove a point. It was a moment to respond to the situation, knowing that later we could deal with the situation. After the fact, I had an inexplicable and undeniable feeling that I've had before. That feeling is a profound sense of satisfaction, a deep, deep calm and sense of wholeness, peace, contentment, because I didn't feel any regret. I didn't feel any kind of shame or guilt or dissatisfaction with myself. I felt proud of my willingness and ability to remain composed and stay in my experience. I know that my reactivity didn't bleed out and affect her in a destructive way. I was able to just be with it. And that experience of, after the fact, of being able to really breathe deeply, with a sense of self-love, as well as compassion and love for the other person, is something that I treasure, and it motivates me to want to continue working with my experience, knowing that that is so much more enjoyable than going round and round in the cycle of reactivity with a person, trying to change them and prove them wrong and reinforce my ideas of myself, of them. No, I don't need to do that. There is a true center of ease and composure that can withstand another person's anything. Thank you.